This is called potato and Roquefort cheese bread, and I've got Roquefort cheese here and cottage cheese. Those are the cheeses I'm using, but the secret of this bread is it's potato bread, and so it's made with potatoes again from the freezer, and this time the potatoes are rosti, which is grated potato made into cakes. What I'm going to do is just break the rosti cakes up into their original state with my hands, like that. When they come out of the freezer, you can defrost them in the microwave, or you can just leave them at room temperature for about half an hour, and then they're sort of all right to handle. That's now going to have some chopped sage to join it. And then I'm going to use half this piece of Roquefort cheese here, which is about half a pack. I'm going to use half of it now and the rest later, and just crumple it with my hands so it just goes in very haphazardly in little pieces like that. You can use any blue cheese, or you can use strong cheddar. I quite like it with Lancashire. Now I've got 175 grams of self-raising flour. I've got a quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne, some salt, and a level teaspoon of mustard powder. So that's all going to go in next. And you'd expect with bread to have all the sort of boring things like yeast and rising and knocking down and rising again, but potato bread, you just do it all in a bowl and it's done and dusted. Now I'm going to put some cottage cheese with chives, a tablespoonful, so I've got a little bit more flavour there. Mix that in. Then I've got 2 tablespoons of milk and a beaten egg, so that's going to go in next. So just go in with your hands and just bring the mixture together. All very, very easy. And you just put it together like that into a round. Give it a little bit of a squash, but not too much. And then I'm going to put some sage leaves on top, just 6 sage leaves, which I think sort of makes it look quite pretty. And then finally, we're going to have the rest of that Roquefort cheese. Just crumple it over, and it'll just melt down on top of the sage leaves. And a sprinkling of flour before it goes into the oven. And it's going to take 35 to 40 minutes to cook. What's good about the subject of cooking is that you never know it all.
So can something like that still give you inspiration picking up a book like this?
Always, yes, even now. Even now while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking,
What do you look for in cookbooks?
The sort of real old-fashioned home cooking where everything was done for flavour. Flavour was key, and how it tastes. The things I don't like are the whole sort of sweep towards poncy, what I call poncy and fiddly and fussy and towers and drizzles and sprinkles, and, you know, where what Elizabeth David very aptly called theatre on a plate. I'm sad about that, don't like that. There we go, and what you need to do straight away is get it onto a cooling tray so it stays nice and crisp underneath and doesn't go soggy. And this bread is definitely best eaten really fresh and, if possible, warm. But if you have to leave any left over till the next day, I don't think you will, it's really brilliant toasted. And there we are, homemade bread.